You got the Rays and the Orioles basically going playoff mode. And actually, there were some complaints because in Baltimore, it was like 25,000 or something. But I think they're sold out like the rest of the weekend. So
Friday,
relax.
Saturday,
It's
Sunday,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'll be okay.
Get to the
Plus,
weekend.
apparently, it was a wild scene. I learned that Kevin Cash and the Rays had been preparing for this series for weeks with bullpen management. They were making sure that they felt like their relievers, especially their top four, which were insane yesterday, however you say it grammatically, I don't care, were prepared to grind it out in this series because this could vault the Rays in front of the Orioles. They're only one game out now, which is wild that they've kept up with them because Baltimore recently had a 7-game win streak too. And the fact that the Rays kept up and now beat them in game one.
And the Rays have been playing with some teams.
The Rays?
Yeah.
The Rays were playing some teams. More so than Baltimore, I would say. And then you see them go Savali for 5, Aaron Savali for 5, and then 1, 2, 3 innings in 6, 7, 8, and 9. Peter Fairbanks struck out the side. So that game was ridiculous. And your thoughts on not just the ball game, Kratzy, but are the Rays about to take the AL East back from the Orioles, who were heavily favored to win the division like a week ago? Like, you saw those odds. Remember, we ran them. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they were heavy.
This is where having a daily baseball show, you can put all the compilations of everything, and you're going to see me like this with the Orioles and Rangers for a while. Now the Rangers are kind of here because you kind of ride the highs because you're really into it watching it. But this is the other thing that as a player, let's say I'm on the Orioles right now. You're sitting there. If you are inexperienced getting into the playoffs, you're going, oh, man, they're really close. They're a game. Okay, but you've just lost 3 games in a row for the first time all season. You have just come off a 7-game winning streak. You've never gotten swept. So you're going to come out of this series. It might be tied. You might be up by 2. But you know what? It's going to be okay. If you're on the Rays and you've never been in the playoffs, which they have a ton of experience, they're sitting there going, we still got a lot to do. We've been grinding. We've been beating the Mariners. We've been beating who they beat before, the Rangers. Was it the Rangers, I think? No, Houston was beating the Rangers. But they just came off a big series against the Mariners, playing well, come in first game of the series against the Orioles. They've been grinding to get to this spot. That wears you out. Kevin Cash mentioned it by saying how much he needed these guys in this series. They've been grinding to get to this spot.
It was Guardians, Red Sox, Mariners, Twins.
The Red Sox series is who I was thinking of. It was Mariners, Twins.
And they're coming off the Twins, where they took 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Sweeping the Mariners, and then
they took 3 out of 4. The last 3. It was a 4-gamer. They lost that 1-0 on Thursday. But still, super impressive series there.
All that to say, it's a mindset. The Orioles have to understand that they are the better team. They are top to bottom the better team. Do they have some weaknesses that the Rays have advantages of? Yes, but there's a reason they've been in the playoffs. I mean, they've been in first place for this long. And they overtook the Rays, who were the hottest team in baseball. They were the first to 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 wins. And the Orioles have been the first to 60, 70, 80 wins in baseball. So it's a situation in AL. I'm sorry, not in all baseball.
Braves fans, we know you're watching. Braves fans will lose their shit.
Yes.
We know you're watching.
Sorry, Braves fans.
Love you.
Yeah, they're just playing. They're getting ready. All that to say, this is where experience helps. Down this stretch, you can't get too high. You can't get too low. You have to literally play the game one game at a time. I think the Orioles will come back here. If they don't, it's a bad way to limp into the playoffs.
But I think the good part about this is they're both going to make it. And I know they don't want to be a wild card team, but in the back of their mind, it's like, all right, say the Orioles get swept here. Just say.
4 games.
It's like, all right, we're down, but still like, okay, we still have a shot at first place, and we're definitely in. It's not the right mindset to think, but knowing you still have that in the back of your mind, okay, I could deal with it. I'm still pissed off, but at the same time, they're both getting in the playoffs.
But even if they get swept, they're only down by 2 games.
True.
Like, it's not like they're not going to get swept. I don't know what the odds are on them getting swept, but it hasn't happened in 76 series
Maybe you
since
just jinx it now.
$1 billion. For the Orioles, they're not getting
70-something.
swept.
They're not going to get swept.
Oof.
So that means they're going to win one of the next 3 games.
I'll be watching.
I think they'll win 2 of the next 3 to split the series. And that's a win for them. It's like when you watch the Ryder Cup for golf. You don't necessarily have to beat the previous champion. You just have to tie the half point. And that's where the Orioles are. And the Rays have to climb back into this. They're taking more effort to get back in.
The Rays relievers, by the way, now 34 consecutive innings pitched without an earned run. That's 11 days on a calendar.
Ridiculous.
That is absurd.
Ride the wave.
Yeah.
Ride it.
O's bullpen's good, too. Even without Bautista, it's been pretty solid. It's like low 3 ERA since August 25th when Bautista went down. These are just good teams, good playoff vibes. The Orioles call up a top prospect every week. Their top prospect of the week is Heston Kjerstad, who's 24 years old, who's got a pretty good story to him. He made his debut. Unfortunately, had to face Robert Stevenson and his ridiculous breaking ball these days. But congrats to him. And he replaced Westberg late in the game. But you'll see more of Kjerstad, I'm sure. They said primarily off the bench, but he could do a little bit of corner outfield and DH for them. Just another first-round talent bat. And this is the only thing, right? Negative Nancy on a Friday. When you tank for 6 years, you get a ton of prospects if you do it right. And the Orioles are they're just dripping with prospects. So
I hope
props to them.
I hope they're great dudes, too, that can handle this situation, because this is where you don't need to call up Heston Kjerstad. You need to call up 28-year-old Todd Frazier, who's been bouncing around a little bit. He was in the minor league system. You claimed him off of waivers. He's not going to play that much. Keston's not going to play that much.
Yeah. And I think he's okay, though. He's been through a lot, and he's 24. You're saying he's going to be like, I need to play right now? I think he's going to be pumped to be in a playoff race and say, I need to play next year.
I'm saying what type of – he's earned – what he's done in the minor leagues, he's earned his call-up. I'm not saying that. To be in this situation, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. You know what you're going to get out of a Brock Holt would be a great example of somebody you would want to plug into that spot. Now, obviously, not everybody has a Brock Holt, but organizations that don't go and make that move at the trade deadline, Harrison Bader was available. Orioles couldn't get to him, but you know, those type of things, you pick those guys up for this situation. So it's weird. It's not weird. It's just how the Orioles are run, that they have to call up that high-level prospect guy.
Let me ask you this. When are the minor leagues done? Aren't they done soon?
No. Nice job by the commissioner to push the AAA season longer. Yeah, we're paying minor leaguers more, but you actually have to pay. You have to play till September 24th now.
Wow.
Yeah, but hey, they're paying them more.